Hello guys, welcome to the lesson. Today's topic is quadrants and trigonometric ratios. So what is quadrant? So there are 4 quadrants in the unit circle. The first quadrant, it starts from 0 up to 90 degrees. Yes? So from 0 to pi over 2, and then the second comes from 90 degrees to 180, and then the third, so this one is first quadrant, then second, then this one is third, and this one is the fourth one. So overall we have fourth quadrant. From the previous class, you know that, for example, if you know one of the ratios, for example, sine alpha equal to 2 over 3, let's say. So if you know this one, you can easily find what is cosine alpha, what is tangent alpha, yes, what is cotangent alpha. But we didn't say anything about the signs of trig ratios. So in the last class we talked about the first quadrant, okay? And only about the first, that every time they all had plus signs. So cosine alpha, it will be, so if we count from the okay, it should be root 5 over 3, yes, it will be also plus, but we didn't tell why it's plus. So we're gonna say, now we're gonna show why it's plus. So let's look here. So let's say that sine alpha is around here. Okay, is around here. And if you make the right triangle here, if you do a right triangle this way, up to here, and this one, yeah. So this one, you can call this one as x, yeah, because this is in the x-axis, and this one you can call y. And what is the value of this one? This is radius, yeah, right? So this radius of the unit circle is 1, of course. So what is sine alpha here? Look, sine alpha is opposite over hypotenuse. It is y over 1. So so it means that sine alpha is y. Okay. So you can take sine as y. And cosine, let's say cosine alpha, yeah? So it is adjacent over hypotenuse x over 1. So it means cosine alpha, it is just x. So this thing is very important, that you take sine as y and cosine is as x. So what does it mean? Okay, as we said, the sine it is y, cosine it is x, yeah? So what is the sine? Okay, when I say sine, I mean this one. Yes. What is this? Is it plus or x or minus of? So here, the x is in this quadrant is plus, yeah. Here, and y is here also plus. Okay. So sine would be also, since y it is plus, sine also would be plus, yeah. Cosine would be also plus. Okay, let's look here in this one. So here x is minus. Okay, remember, this is in the negative direction, this is negative, and here also this one is minus. Y it is minus direction. So sine here would be so it is y, yeah. So in this direction y it is plus, so sine also would be plus. Cosine, look here, because since cosine is x and we know that x is minus, so that's why it's here the cosine would be minus. And if you look here, so here sine it is minus because y it is minus. Cosine would be also minus because x also minus. And then if you look here, sine would be minus because y minus, cosine would be plus because x is plus. So what about tangent and cotangent? So we know that tangent, actually we can take tangent, any tangent as sine alpha over cosine alpha. Okay, why it's so? So look here. So we know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, yeah, right? And divide by cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So if you divide these two, you will get opposite over hypotenuse times hypotenuse divided by adjacent. So the hypotenuse, they are cancelled, and you get opposite over adjacent. So this means that tangent alpha is equal to sine over cosine. Okay, so this is always true. And the same thing you can say about so since tangent and cotangent they are vice versa, they opposite, like, yeah. So cotangent alpha would be equal to cosine over sine. Okay, remember these two things. So and let's check what will be the signs of tangent, yeah. So tangent, it means that sine over cosine. So sine plus sine plus cosine. If you divide them, they will be plus, yeah. Plus the same thing. Plus cosine divided by plus sine. Cotangent also would be plus. So here, plus sine divided by minus cosine. So like here, tangent. Here you have minus plus sine divided by minus cosine. So you get minus tangent. Yes? So that's why here would be minus. Cotangent also would be the same, minus, because you divide minus cosine by plus sine. So cotangent will be minus. And then here comes this one. You divide minus sine by minus cosine in case of tangent. So minus over minus, it will be plus. And cosine, the same thing. Minus cosine by divide cosine plus sine, it will be also plus. And then you have here tangent, yeah. Tangent also minus sine divided by plus cosine, it will be minus. Cotangent will be minus. So why do we need this one? Okay, let's have, for example, sine alpha, it is 2 over 5, yeah. And let's say that alpha belongs to it will be between, let's say, 90 and 180. Okay, so this alpha is here. You can show it by this way, like that. It is here. It's somewhere here. This is alpha. So it belongs to the second quadrant. Yeah. So if it is here, it means that if you look to this, what is the signs of these trigonometric ratios? This one should be plus, yeah. It is okay. So this is plus. So this is plus. So then this ratio, it is okay. So let's find cosine, yeah. To find cosine, you need to write triangle. So here you have alpha, opposite it is this one, and the hypotenuse is 5. So what is adjacent? So according to, so let's say it is x, yeah, 5 squared, 2 squared plus x squared. Then you get here 25, 4 plus x squared. So x is square root 21. So this is square root 21. This one is square root 21. So cosine, what is cosine here? Cosine alpha would be square root 21 over 5. But what is the sign of it? So since it's in the second quadrant, and in the second quadrant we know that cosine is minus because the x in the second quadrant also minus, that's why this should be also minus. Okay, now what is tangent? Yeah, let's take tangent. Tangent alpha. So we know tangent alpha, it is 2 over opposite over adjacent, yeah, 2 over square root 21. So what is the sign of it? What is the sign of it? It is, so if you look here, it is minus, yeah, so this should be also minus. And cotangent alpha, it is adjacent over opposite. So if you look here, this should be also minus. Okay, another example. You have cosine theta equal to minus 1 over 3, and the angle theta is in the third quadrant. So it is between 180 and, okay, sorry, this should be 180 and 270. So my mistake. So 180 and 270. So it is in the third quadrant. Okay. So look here, in the third quadrant, cosine it is always x, yeah. So this is x, this is x. So that's why cosine is minus. So then it means it is true, yeah. Okay, let's check what is sine theta. So we can take this, find it using right triangle. If it is theta, adjacent is 1 should be here, 3 should be here, yeah? And find what is x opposite. Okay, 3 squared plus equal to x squared plus 1 squared. So x squared would be 8. Okay, 8 you can take as 2 root 2. Yeah. So what is then cosine? You know what is sine theta? Yeah? So if you look here in the third quadrant, the sign is minus. The sign is minus. So that's why it will be minus opposite, yeah? Opposite 2 root 2 over 3. So what is tangent theta? It will be, so opposite over adjacent, yeah? So opposite over adjacent, it is 2 root 2 over 1. So here the sign is plus. So it is just plus and it will be 2 root 2. Okay, what is cotangent theta? Adjacent over opposite 2 root 2. It is also plus. So you have find all the ratios. But to make it easier, if you didn't still understand this one, for example, take any point in this, yeah. So let's say you have some some coordinate plane, and take any point here, like it will be 5 and 4, yeah. 4, 5. So x would be 4, and this would be everything is plus. So sine, cosine, and let's take here minus. Let's say minus 4. Here it is minus 4 and 5. So cosine it is minus. So since x is minus, cosine also minus. Here sine is plus. Okay, and let's take minus 5 here. Here it will be minus 4 and minus 5. Minus cosine minus sine. Minus cosine minus sine. And here 4 minus 5. Yeah, and this would be minus plus cosine minus sine.